So let's look at these last examples. So for letter A, the first thing you want to remember is there are 3 different bases. We have the base of 3, the base of x, and the base of y. So when you distribute that power of 3, you want to go to all 3 of those bases. I'm going to put a little 1 up here so I remember. So first I'll have the 3. 1 times 3, power to a power, we multiply. That's going to give me 3, taken to the 3rd power. Then x to the negative second, negative 2 times 3 gives me negative 6. 2 times 3 gives me a positive 6. We can simplify 2 things here. First, we can simplify 3 squared, or 3 cubed. The second thing we have to simplify is that negative exponent. I'm going to throw this whole thing over 1. Grab a different color. This guy's going into the denominator. So 3 cubed is going to give me 27. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. The y to the 6th does not move. It doesn't have a negative exponent, so we're good. And then on the bottom here, I'm going to bring down that x. And then when you bring it down or you move it, it becomes positive. So x to the 6th is on the bottom, and it's simplified. Letter C. I'm going to move across this way. Same thing, similar situation here. We want to remember that there are 3 bases. So I'm going to put a little 1 there. And so we'll have 6 to the power of negative 3, because power to a power we multiply. X to the 6th power, because negative 2 times negative 3 gives me a positive 6. And then y to the negative 9th power here. All right. So there's 2 things I want to simplify. I definitely want to send the negative exponents into the denominator, but I also want to see what 6 to the 3rd power is. So let me go ahead and grab my calculator, make sure I do that right. 216. So on the bottom, and I'm going to have a 1 up top just so we don't forget about it. We have 216, because that's what 6 to the positive 3rd power would be. My x to the 6th is staying on top. Okay, it's not going to move, it's not negative, so I don't have to move it to the bottom. But the y to the 9th has to go on the bottom, and I make that a positive. If you decide to drop the 1, that'd be fine, but if you keep it, that's also fine. 2 more examples. Let's look at letter B. All right, here we have a couple things going on. The first thing I noticed was the numbers. We have a 4 over 6, or excuse me, a 4 over 8, and I know that that would simplify. So if I put 4 over 8 as a fraction in my calculator, I would get 1/2. So I have 1 over 2. I'm also going to just cross out the 4 and the 8, so I do not forget that I've already simplified that. Looking at the second part, x to the negative 2nd power, and then I have an x to the 1st power on the bottom. So if I'm subtracting them, negative 2 minus 1 will give me x to the negative 3rd power. I'm going to keep that up top for now, because right now, after I've subtracted it, it gave me a negative, so I'll move it after I simplify the rest of this. I'm going to cross off the x's, so I know that they're gone. All right, so now, let me cross off the little 2 too. So now I have y to the 4th power over y to the 6th. 4 minus 6 will give me negative 2. If I have y to the negative 2nd power. Now, I'm not quite done yet. As we said, we can't have negative exponents. Both of these things need to drop down into the denominator with that 2. So I'm going to have a 1 on top. On the bottom, I'll have 2, x to the 3rd, y squared. All right, not too bad. Things are making a lot more sense now that we know all of our properties. For our last one, well, this whole bottom part, this whole bottom expression is taken to the power of 2. So what I think I should do is I'm going to actually give myself a little more space. I'm going to erase this one. I'm going to rewrite the top part of it. I'm not going to change anything at all. So I have 12, x to the 8th, y to the negative 7th. On the bottom, I'm going to make sure that I take everything to the power of 2. So 4 squared, I'm just going to do that. That's going to give me 16. Okay. Then x to the negative 2nd power, power to a power we multiply. So negative 2 times positive 2 gives me negative 4. So x to the negative 4th power. All right. y to the negative 6th times 2 would give me y to the negative 12th. All right, so far so good. Now I have a couple situations here. So if it was me, the first thing I would do is grab my calculator. And I would put 12 over 16 in my calculator, and I would simplify that. Put it in as a fraction, because then you'll know that it's going to give you a fraction. Okay? So I know that 4 would go into 12 3 times, and 4 would go into 16 4 times. So if I put that in as a fraction, I'll get 3 over 4. So they're both gone. Okay. Now we're going to subtract. So I'm going to write this out. We have x to the 8th minus negative 4. We know when we subtract a negative, we add. So 8 plus 4 would give me 12. So I'm going to have x to the 12th on top. Let's look at the other one. So we have y, I'll put that one above, y to the negative 7th minus negative 12. Well, I know that when I have two negatives, it becomes a positive because I'm subtracting them. So now I have negative 7 plus 12, which would give me a positive 5. Y to the 5th. There are no negative exponents. My numbers are simplified, so I think I am all done with this one. Great job, everyone. Thank you for tuning in.